Please, if you are new to the channel, kindly like, share, subscribe, and please do not forget to hit the notification bell. Mr. Chinedu, let us look at the whole south part of the country. Everywhere seems to be experiencing it at home. Despite the fact that the National Security Advisor said that Tinubu's government have solved most of the problem that it has not struggled to significant. But in what look like civil disobedience, the people are indoors. The 85 million Biafrans all over the world. What I mean Biafrans, I'm talking about the entire Eastern region and who are marking, because it's not only the Igbos. You know, I have some observation when they say Igbo. Yes, Igbo might be the umbrella thing, but we're talking about Biafrans, and nobody's going to stop today. See today, not even the federal government. There's no government in the eastern part of the country, and no governor, no senator is being recognized. As far as today is concerned, nobody. That's the picture. You know, if you go to Catholic churches everywhere, banks everywhere is shut down. You know, everybody is just looking at the life and times of those 6 million Biafrans that died as a result of incompetence, as a result of bad leadership, as a result of coerced inability to provide leadership. And let me ask you, what is war? War is the absence of leadership that brings about anarchy. But let me even ask this question, because some people are blamed for war, because after the war, God said no, because the came out with the Structural Act, reconstruction, and restitution. Are you satisfied so many years after the war, whether the government have been able to retrieve or other Biafrans into Nigeria? No, let me tell you, no vanquish, no victory, or whatever it is, was just a media creation. That wasn't what the document stated. What the document stated is that Efiong signed a ceasefire. It was a ceasefire agreement. There was no victor, no vanquish. Nobody was interested in that. I can tell you that's how they factor some of these things that are not true. Can go on, probably come out and tell us that what transpired on the day the war stopped was no victor, no vanquish. Who's interested in that? What happened here was that Efiong entered a ceasefire that has some policy, some things that to be met, like the issue of rehabilitation, reconstruction, whatever it is. There was nothing like conquer. The Biafra was not conquered, and in the absence of those things, reintegration of the Igbo people inside the system, then you know that the Biafra war has continued. And the Biafra war has continued politically, economically, socially, and otherwise. We are still on it till this very moment. So we are mourning the day that the Igbos found identity, the Biafrans found identity, the old Eastern region found identity. We are mourning the day that the world recognizes that the worst genocidal war on the history of mankind took place in Africa. Over 6 million Biafrans were killed. Now, as we mark this in Nigeria, we understand that globally in Europe, this same thing is happening. Everywhere have Biafrans globally. And that's even got to mind. When the Biafrans gathered the land of Finland the other time for the liberation of Biafra, despite the fact that the Nigerian government declared territorial occupation, they did it within the under the water eye of the international media. Nobody was arrested, nobody was arrested. Why is it that the world, like UN, European Union, countries of the world see people, Biafra, IPOB differently from the well, yes, and they will continue to see differences in all this. But the fact is remain is that who are you? That's the number one question. Who are you? Who are you brings about the identity? Who are you brings about the culture and tradition? Who are you? Also brings about where you are coming from.
Can say
you can't tell me that at this point we are going to return back to Apoli. Where Gowon cannot be able to interpret simple English. Gowon does not know the meaning of confederation. So are we returning back for people to know that there are indigenous people, there are owners of lands, people own land, people found lands. As simple as that. So you cannot take this away from the reality of who they are. They are Biafrans, and that's what they are. And nobody, the world knows, it's not no longer a hidden thing. But fortunately, we know what happened in 1999 when the ethnic laws resurfaced in Nigeria. We have the Ariwa, we have the OPC, we have the Masom. As at that time, to tell you that the so-called war fought by, Gowon was a war of continuity, of disunity. Okay, now let's take our attention to Finland, where Biafra is preparing for his defense, and they made it very clear that they will call witnesses to ensure that Biafra is giving a good legal representation himself. And as it stands, in the Carlos case in Nigeria, we had a situation where there's someone who threw away DSS evidence because that Carlos made the opponent declare that they were interrogating in the absence of his lawyer. And at the end of the day, the judge did a trial with the trial and confirmed that the constitution or rather the Supreme Court judgment severally has ruled that you must interrogate a suspect in the presence of his lawyer, meaning DSS evidence is inadmissible. Omotoso would not like to carry conspiracy, against Nnamdi Kanu. We are here when Lai Mohammed, Malami, Buhari, and Femi Adesina, we are celebrating the illegal rendition of Nnamdi Kanu from Kenya. Today, the same federal government is denying. They don't know how Nnamdi Kanu, was brought back to Nigeria. So that's the reality of the foundation of the Nigeria. Is that the Nigerian foundation was laid on corruption, deception, and lies, and we cannot be part of it. Nigeria is a dark nation. Nigeria means darkness. Okay, let me even bring this. Let me bring this to attention because we are talking about Biafra. Contrary to the position of the National Security Advisor, all the road in Biafra land is shut down. It's a must. Because there's no government in the southeast. The only government we have is the government of Nnamdi Kanu. You see all these Fulani governors, but let them come out now. They said that let them come out. So this is obedience to Nnamdi Kanu. But the governors, everybody must be loyal to that man. Because he is just another face of Africanism. Nnamdi Kanu is another face of sovereignty partner to African liberation. Nnamdi Kanu has produced, and so many followers who have understood the consequences of being loyal to an entity that has no value. Who will resist it? That's the resistance. That's what is happening in Burkina Faso. And you can see it in that judgment 2 days ago, or yesterday, or thereabout, where the same thing Nnamdi Kanu is talking about happened in the presence of everybody. We don't know where Omotoso is coming from. We don't know what to know. But the reality on ground is that the Ghanaian chief judge in Abuja said that he wants to see how Nigerian judiciary is going to go about the case of Nnamdi Kanu. If I may point out this, because in the past recent time, we have seen the president talking about making abundantly clear that even some government from Finland, that some of them will say, sit at home, even the governors will pay and they will not go in the because if they go to work, when you talk about the reality on ground, what is the impact of the governor? Look at the focus of the man now. He said, Nnamdi Kanu is 100% IPOP. The people who are killing people in Southeast are not state actors. Are you not listening to Hope Uzudimma? I see the president don't know, but for him to come out 30 minutes and be saying this kind of a thing, you that have access to several information, saying it clearly, it is enough signal to tell you that the conquest agenda politically is real, and that the only obstacle is Nnamdi Kanu. Not only for the Igbo people, not only for the Easterners, not only for the Biafrans, but the entire Christian society, Christian communities in Nigeria, including the North. That's the reality.
State secretariat.
The world does not communicate directly to anybody in Eastern part of the country apart from IPOB leader, the world want to know what you do. You can see the consistency, you can see the resilience, you can see the spirit, you can see the coordination, you can see the intelligence, you can see the focus, you can see the courage, you can see the character. They said he's not an Igbo man. Well, Nnamdi Kanu is an Igbo man. But let me go ask this question. Okay, you've not seen this. Let me ask this question. You have not seen that kind of special people. No, I'm not asking that. Let me ask you. Because if you look at currently, we are seeing the lives of Russian foreign affairs ministers telling countries of the world, even UN, to start obeying and respecting self-determination. We have seen the Bible, of course, was in lobbies of Nnamdi Kanu and met the chief of staff to Samanepa. We see Biafra doing exploit globally. And recently I saw a video of the Russian soldier who made it very clear that the use of people extraction. What is happening? But what is happening is the reality of the Igbo identity. And what is happening is the reality of Biafra. You know, a lot of people have come to embrace Biafra because Biafra is the new face of Africanism. That's the fact. You know, and what does that mean is that, you know, Nigeria did not own Biafra. That's the first thing to know. Nigeria never owned Biafra. You know, people that own Biafra own Biafra. Biafra is bigger than Nigeria. Biafra has been existent for Nigeria 500 years before Nigeria was created. And look at it, if not more than that, you know, from where it was coming from the kingdom, the first kingdom recorded on earth. A lot of people want to disagree that, but history has a way of proving some certain things. Right? The ancient black Hebrews are Biafrans, and that's what he said. That kingdom was named after them. It was not Igbo that named Biafra. Why people can't they go and read that today we are marking the genesis, the beginning
this place is a very difficult
of our identity
because of traffic,
as simple as that.
Activities that
necessity led us to discover that these people of the eastern region are the Biafrans, the ancient Biafrans. They talked about so many years until it got to a point that it was not in existence, until a Portuguese researcher came and said no. So that kingdom have existed, and this is where the remnants of that kingdom is, and that remnants of that kingdom was found in Ethiopia. Okay, go and check even Lagos State. There's still a place called Lagos in Portugal. There's still a place called Biafra in Portugal. Can't they find out? Everything what is Portugal?
Shutdown as well, close.
I think I must say everything. Evangelist Ben, the Biafra evangelist. Remember that the other day, there's a motor show stood down in the Kalu case to make sure that he conduct trial within trial. Because Nnamdi Kanu made it emphatically clear that they interrogated him in the absence of his lawyer, and again that he was kept in a dungeon in underground cell, and the 1 hour allowed for him to go and refresh himself that they were not giving
warehouse junction.
But in the ruling, there's a motor show rule that they will not admit that evidence because the Supreme Court have ruled severally that if you want to interrogate somebody, it must be in the presence of his lawyer. This is another area of victory for Nnamdi Kanu. Yeah, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, whatever you're watching us from. Remember, almost one and the only Biafran evangelist, Benjamin Johnson. This is Nachi. Trial for trial. Trial within trial. Trial within trial is another language from another judge in the court of the law in Nigeria. Every day English they come outside. Trial within trial. I give God the glory. God Almighty, praise be to His name, because so far so good. Nnamdi Kanu is giving Nigeria 2-0 within the space of few days under the watch of Omotosho, because you can see what really happened yesterday in the court. That the witness, the third witness who was absent in the previous sitting, was present yesterday, day before yesterday. Then it was yesterday they officially unveiled the whole thing. But when I began to watch the listen, I discovered that this man, Nnamdi Kanu, made a statement and said the person that tried him, that interrogated him,
His name was Mr. Brown. And when they asked Mr. BB, I don't know what is the meaning of BB. You understand? But he said his name was BB. And when the interrogator asked Mr. BB, Mr. BB said nobody bearing down the Brown among them. And I was like, what is this man don't really know who he was, dealing with. So what stand out in that thing is that even in the video evidence that he got rejected, Nanukali was dressed saying that you are doing this in the absence of my lawyer. And of course that was the basis of which the judge said it would not be admissible in the court. Because according to the judge, there are so many judgments of Supreme Court that says if you want to interrogate someone, his lawyer must be mandatory. That is the issue. And the workplace, the only capture Mazen Namdekano, which everything that he said, he did not deny it. He agreed that he made those statements. Even with what he wrote down and signed, he said yes, he did all this, he didn't deny it. But there was a condition at which he did it. And what was that condition? That condition was a duress condition. And you know what duress is all about? Duress is you force somebody to go against his will. And a duress is another thing that, either you live or you die. So choose one. You must dance to my tune to live, or you dance to your own tune and visit your Baba God before your time. That is the meaning of duress. If you actually want to analyze it and to break it down, that is all about duress. And for the young man, to still stay alive, in order to pursue his aim, in order to pursue the goal, in order to pursue the dream, and to achieve it, he has to play, to be wise. Bible says we should be wise, as serpent and become as dove. So he has to play with the wisdom along with them in order for him to still remain alive in the land of the living, then continue. A hero that doesn't die in the war, he fights to remain in order to continue another day. That is a military terms. You understand? He's a hero. He fights and remain in order to continue. And that was why he admitted under duress whatsoever condition they gave to him, he abided by it. Because that is temporary. There will be time to say this is what happened. Yes, now, because he knows that time will come whereby he will stand up to defend himself and to express himself and to let the whole world what he has gone through that is against the law. Or the treatment that they have given to him that don't supposed to, because fighting for freedom and standing to defend your land is not a criminal case. It's not a case. It is normal thing the right thing a man has to do. So that was why he be and he condole with them and agree with them and he do what he play along with them. That was what happened yesterday. He made it clear. And funny enough, in that video, did you see any clip of the interrogator in the video? No. You're only hearing, seeing, watching Mazen Namdekano. And he said, yes, all this is, I admit I said it, I admit I wrote them, I admit that I signed, but it was under a condition. And that condition was a condition that is unbearable for me. So I have to do what? To dance in order to live again. Okay, now let us take attention to today, 30th of May. Of course, we understand that it's always Biafra Remembrance Day. Like before today, we saw the Office of the National Security Advisor saying that because of the security arrangement and achievement of this current government, that the issue at home is dying now, that no one will likely sit at home come Biafra Day. Like, what is your take and what will be feeling in the southeastern part of the country? Will there be sit at home to honor Biafra fallen? My brother, don't say we there be. There is already sit at home. The people in the whole southeast are already sitting at home. Baba, if you have data, check all the roads in the whole southeast. Everybody is sitting at home today. You are not the one to tell us what to do. We are the one to decide what to do. Do you understand? If not that Nigeria is a country whereby the law is not being followed. They say the democracy is the government of the people, by the people and for the people. But in Nigeria, it is a government of one person, ruled by one person, controlled by one person, managed by one person, dictated by one person. That is Nigerian democracy, not according to the other way around. And let me tell you, we in Biafra land, and we in Biafra follows the law of what democracy, as democracy should be, and how it's supposed to be, and the way it should go. It is the government of the people, and we are the government. Do you understand? So we decide how we run our things in our place. So Sanusi or Ribadu, I don't know which of them, that say that Tinubu have performed well. In which way have Tinubu performed well? In what? In which area? The security. The security you say that Tinubu have performed well. Go and see what is happening in Kebbi State. As I speak to you now, go and see the massacre that took place in Kebbi State. Go and see what happened in Enugu State. Go to Imo State and see. See, my brother, all over Nigeria, there's nothing like Tinubu have not performed any time.
Crowded and busy
in terms of security. He has not performed. They have not even taken any step.
This place is a very difficult terrain to pass.
So what I'm saying in a nutshell is that there is going to be Shutdown.
Not there is going to be. When you are using the word, there is going to be misunderstanding. There is already sit at home. People are already sitting in their houses.
Of course, if I may ask, this is what they will call civil disobedience against government. Even Abia, the Senate president, the other time, very, very clear that the way it is,
so
that Samanapa is the governor of Eastern Nigeria.
Yes.
Because that Samanapa will say, don't go out, and people will stay back.
Yes.
So where did the governors lose it that people do not obey them?
The governors lose it in this form. The day they accepted the Fulanis
and this is the way the money
as their colonial master,
Shutdown.
that very day they lose it. The day the governors have failed to secure the people and the property of the people, that day the governors lose it. The very day the governors will begin to obey and begin to sponsor Fulanis in Igbo land is the day they lose it. The very day they begin to tell federal government, bring army, bring military to Igbo land and to kill the Igbos is the day they lose it. The very day they start to, to take vote that is not given to them, to turn the table upside down, giving us a choice that is not ours. The people we did not vote for are the people ruling us. That is the very day they lose it.
This is warehouse. If you know
so having said all this, that is why these people are not speaking for us. They are speaking for themselves. That is why they lose it.
There is any hope in sight for the governors to take control and take charge, and people will obey them.
And that is left for them. Because as it stands now, their languages is no longer valid. You can see what Opus of them has finally come out and said. But the same person accused Akpop of being what? A terrorist. The same person have been accusing Akpop in any killing, anything that happens in the English state, he will target the Akpop, Biafrans. But today, look at him coming out to confess that it is not the IPOB that are responsible. Then who are the responsible? He failed to mention the people that are responsible. Opposition political parties. Who are the opposition political parties?
They are important people from other states.
They are important people. And for that reason, they are not from that state. That what makes you as an incumbent governor to treat them like trash.
You can see it.
You understand? Treat them anyway because they are not the citizens. So why should I come to your own place, to cause insecurity, to come and cause havoc for you, and you kept quiet?
Okay, now briefly, let's not talk about the station in Enugu State, the station where there is a native doctor who goes by the name of Ibedu Show. And he was reported to have kidnapped, or his boys kidnapped a young girl. That upon inquiry, the news discovered that his compound had been even for killing. Discoveries were mind-boggling. This boat done in Sokaway. And the man in question was on his way out of the country, but he was intercepted and the Badagris in the border in Lagos on top of a motorcycle in attempt to flee the country. Where are we going? In Anambra, we are seeing a similar situation. So, the discovery has not been made concerning Apache Warakre, who has been in government custody, and two other native doctors in that.
They are being cut about it.
What is happening in the southeastern part of the country? Native doctors are turning to ritualists.
Yes, that was what they have been since. And this government are the one empowering them to be sincere, because they are the one visiting them, pumping our money in their own purse to give them power so that the audacious, when you shoot it, you not enter, so that they will have the opportunity to be carrying out their evil activities in the state and in the country. All these politicians are the ones, empowering them, encouraging them to do all this nonsense. That is why you see them, turning into something else. Many of them, you can see it the other day I was preaching and made it clear. Many of them have started, wearing suit. Before when you talk of native doctor, you go to the bush. A native doctor doesn't sleep in a house. A native doctor doesn't rent a hotel. A native doctor doesn't build a good home. You understand me? But today, you see native doctor wearing tie, standing in the pulpit. In the name of pastor. For a native doctor to wear suit and maybe live in Lawson house. My brother. No, I'm asking, is it a crime? It is not a crime, but it is not part of their quality and their nature. Okay, their nature is dirtiness. Of course, you can see they are doing a dirty job. So they are doing dirty things. And you can see it by their fruit, you shall know them. You can see the evidence now. And that evidence has been something that has been happening since it's not today. But they are just coming in disguise. Wearing, putting on clothes that is not given to them or meant for them. You understand? In disguise. So that was why what happened. You understand? That man is a pure native doctor. But let me tell you, every day is for the thief, one day is for the owner. Okay, but that young lady, you see that young lady, the young lady, I read the articles of that article. I discovered that that young lady in their family, such a thing doesn't happen. Such a thing doesn't take place in their, in their family. And you can see the young lady is still a virgin, innocent girl with the chaplain. That innocency and the faith and belief in God still remain there. So the power of darkness cannot prevail the power of light that was shining upon that girl. That was why they could not succeed, to achieve their goal over that girl, and that was what exposed them. You understand? So having said all this, you will agree with me that God remains the continent. I'm also very thankful about that. Let me have the law, because I'm trying to get the consent, or rather the opinion of Nigerians, particularly those from the eastern part of the country, the station where native doctors are turning out to be ritualists. We have seen the one in Enugu that goes by the name of the show, who his house was discovered to be a heaven of kidnapping and ritual killing. He was trying to run away from the country. By that grace of my brother, was intercepted by immigration. He has been soon be handed over to the police for investigation and prosecution. Now let me get with Mr. Lawrence. What is happening? The native doctors are turned out to be
secretariat.
So that's the reason why most of you will not blame governor of Anambra State to arrest native doctors. No, we used to say that native doctor is not a taboo.
So you can see.
But how do you handle your own shrine?
Okay, native doctor is not a taboo.
It's not a taboo. But how do you handle your shrine? Like somebody that open church.
So there is
how do you handle your congregation?
But that's where the problem is.
That's where the problem is. God creates many leaves, tree, for what?
Total
for our heads.
Well. So the government.
But the man who is already killing people.
I'm coming. I'm going to the same place.
I'm no longer doing herbs.
I'm going to the same place. The reason I go there because I call it a native doctor. But it's too sincere, and if you look at that man, it's not a native doctor.
If you know Tetlo is a IT center of
ritualist.
Money.
You can see men are playing.
It's suspected ritualist.
It's not suspected ritualist. It's a ritualist. Reality. When can someone come to your backyard or anywhere and see a skull of human being by part of a woman being? What are you using the part of human being? Human being, is it a meat?
You can't pass here.
It's not a meat.
Because of
those the people that federal government of Nigeria or the government of Lagos, Nigeria supposed to monitor so much. You see, when they start this native doctor issue, since Soludo enters the government of Anambra State, you can go and check it very well.
But this was
I'm going.
He have not been indicted and they have not seen any evidence against him.
Listen,
where is calm?
when Soludo enters, that's when native doctors having an issue because Soludo know that those people, majority of them is fake. They are using the damaged image of some native doctors. They are using roots and leaf
and you can see
to help people.
So meaning they are genuine native doctors.
Oga, I told you that my uncle that brought me up is a native doctor.
Meaning by extension you are a native doctor.
And there is also
I'm not a native doctor. I know
that you are the son of a native doctor.
I'm the son of uncle of a native doctor. Are you getting me? And when many years I stayed with my uncle, I didn't see anything evil. The man did. Even though if you bring like a chicken or a goat to you to thank the man, after everything, you know what the man will do? The man will not carry those chicken and give their children or give us. He said that some sacrifice or something that on top of that animal will not affect his children.
And this is the way
Talkless that animal use another thing, human being blood to do some sacrifice. No. But the worst one, this one we are seeing, this our generation. Akwakotu started it. I told you when I'm in the Ghana, did I hear about that guy? That is the day I cancel that guy. Because I know it's fake.
Okay, you already know it's fake before.
I know. Go to Ghana.
This is your brother we're talking about.
Yeah, it's my brother. Can I say because it's my brother? I will not say
this. By
are you getting me? You see many people that use native doctors to cover themselves and they are doing evil. They are killing. Even though to me, for that man Enugu said, no need to judge.
If you know warehouse,
the Bible said that. So when you use knife kill, they will use knife to kill you. If you use gun kill, so that was law of Moses. Okay, that law is more important. That's what's killing us for this our generation and most in Nigeria. We say law of Moses. What is law of Moses? The law of Moses is the law of God. That's the law people can hear and fear. And eye for eye. Yes, if you slap me, I give you 2.
But Jesus Christ said not
listen, that's what they use to deceive us now.
But Jesus Christ cannot.
When Jesus Christ went to the tabernacle, when they see they use the house of God to do business, why Jesus Christ throw everything out?
Because according to the word of God, the seal of the Father has appeared out.
For you to worship God, you must worship God for your spirit. You yourself is the house of God. You must be neat to serve God. Are you getting? Native doctor in the southeast, in the Nigeria, majority of them doing evil. They are doing evil. When he kill them immediately, judge them immediately, it's government. He want to put them 100 years in prison. Put them there because do you know how many people life they are wasted? This man in Enugu State tonight, do you know how many people life waste?
Observation.
And some people, look at this our generation now, come to Lagos or anywhere, you see Yahoo person. What they are using to do, they use human blood.
Total observation.
You see many women now, many girls outside, they cannot marry. Even the one who married, so born is another problem.
I think this is a good to let it go. I must say very much for that. Don't have the next time. This is Media and I'm Samaki. Thank you very much, Mr. Lawrence.